What if I told you that one analyst believes XRP isn't just going to moon, it's going to a completely different galaxy with a price target of $10,000? That's not a typo. A prominent XRP community voice known as Pumpius recently laid out a breathtaking case for why XRP would need to hit $10,000 per token to become the backbone for settling central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, and the entire global foreign exchange market, which moves $7.5 trillion every single day. This isn't just wild speculation. It's a theory rooted in the very reason XRP and the XRP Ledger, XRPL, were created. But is this a realistic vision for the future or a hopeful fantasy? Let's break it down. The core of Pumpius's argument is all about utility and scale. He looks at the massive, multi-trillion-dollar problems in our current global financial system and sees XRP as the perfect solution. For example, he previously suggested that Ripple's escrow holdings of roughly 35.6 billion XRP could even help reduce the U.S. national debt of $35 trillion. But that would require XRP to trade at around $983. However, for the truly global role of powering CBDCs and FX, the number skyrockets to $10,000. At its current price of around $3, that represents a gain of over 328,000%. But let's be real, a 328,000% gain? That's the part that makes everyone pause. This is where we have to look at the actual problems XRP is designed to solve. The traditional system, dominated by SWIFT, relies on pre-funded accounts called Nostro and Vostro accounts, which tie up an estimated $27 trillion in idle capital for banks around the world. This system is slow, expensive, and inefficient. The XRP Ledger, by contrast, is built for speed and cost-effectiveness. It settles transactions in 3 to 5 seconds with fees under 1 cent. This isn't just theory, it's what Ripple's on-demand liquidity, ODL, system already does today for various financial institutions, allowing them to convert currencies in real time without locking up all that capital. Therefore, the potential for disruption is enormous. If XRP were to become the neutral bridge asset for global finance, the demand for the token would be astronomical. This is the logical foundation for Pumpius's prediction. Now, let's talk about central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. A 2024 BS, Bank for International Settlements, report noted that CBDC projects now represent 98% of global GDP. That's almost the entire world economy exploring digital currencies. The big challenge these projects face is liquidity and seamless cross-border settlement. This is exactly where XRP is designed to fit in. Ripple is already working with several central banks on this. For instance, countries like Bhutan, Palau, Colombia, Montenegro, and Georgia are already testing private versions of the XRPL for pilots in remittances and cross-border payments. Ripple even has a dedicated private CBDC platform built on XRPL technology that allows central banks to issue their digital currencies and potentially use XRP for settlement. So, the adoption pipeline is very real. This growing utility is also why major financial institutions are taking notice. Morgan Stanley itself has recognized XRP as a real-time, low-cost global payment disruptor, citing its potential to cut costs by 60% compared to traditional systems like SWIFT. This kind of institutional validation is huge. And this is a massive but, we have to address the enormous gap between current pilots and global domination. While the technology is proven and the use case is strong, achieving a $10,000 price point requires near-total adoption on a global scale. It requires thousands of banks and every major central bank to choose XRP as their preferred liquidity tool. It also requires navigating a complex and often hesitant regulatory landscape worldwide. Although Ripple has secured key licenses in places like Singapore, the UAE, and the UK, the U.S. regulatory environment remains a significant hurdle despite Ripple's legal victories against the SEC. Therefore, while the $10,000 price target is a powerful thought experiment that highlights XRP's world-changing potential, it is ultimately a very long-term, best-case scenario. It's less of a price prediction and more of a vision of what could be possible if the XRP Ledger becomes the default infrastructure for global value transfer. For investors today, the more immediate factors to watch are the growth of Ripple's ODL corridors, the expansion of central bank pilots, and potential catalysts like the approval of a U.S. spot XRP ETF, which analysts suggest could bring $8 to $10 billion in inflows. The path to $10,000 is a marathon, not a sprint, but it's a vision that continues to drive incredible interest and debate around one of the most unique assets in crypto. What do you think? Is $10,000 for XRP a realistic goal or pure fantasy? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.